So with this video here, I'm going to cover some of the importance of bringing in raw foods into our diets, particularly for weight loss, why it's vitally important. It's a must. It really is a must. And that does not mean I'm talking about having a complete raw food diet, because I don't have a complete raw food diet myself. But the importance of trying to get in, I would say at least 50% of your diet being raw foods for weight loss endeavors. It's almost a must, and I'm going to explain exactly why that is. Okay, the thing with why it's almost impossible to lose weight with just purely cooked foods, it can be done. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's extremely, extremely hard. Why? A lot of people don't acknowledge this or understand this. It's something that I've only really begun to understand quite recently. Cooked foods, the ingredients in cooked foods, so many ingredients in cooked foods become almost like addictive. It's very, very, very difficult to not want to stuff yourself and put your calories sky high when you eat a lot of cooked foods. Cooked foods, especially that use seasonings and sauces that have a lot of sodium and certain flavorings, a lot of these things make you want more and more and more. You know, like, I mean, so many of these things, particularly things that are sodium based, very, very salty seasonings or foods that are very salty. It's like you just want seconds and thirds. It's like you just want to devour it. Whereas if you have clean, raw food that is not cooked, meaning, just to be simple, let's even say salads, right? Just like mixed salads with any, let's say 4 to 5 different vegetables, or just pure fruit. Let's just, keep it simple like that. If you have 1 or 2 raw meals like that a day, you see that you can just eat pure. And yes, you can put a little bit of like a clean type of dressing. When I say clean, I mean a dressing that doesn't have a lot of like weird artificial stuff in it. If you can avoid that, that's the best. Okay, I mean, even if it's just like a simple balsamic vinaigrette or something like that, or balsamic vinegar, it's something that doesn't have a lot of fat and calories either, of course. And when you eat that, you find that it takes a little time for your palate to change into that, but you find that you get satisfied on much less food, because now you're just getting filled up on the fiber that the vegetables and the fruit have. Particularly vegetables is a little more the way to go, because we can eat a lot of fruit and sometimes our calories get a little too high and it halts the weight loss. And for a lot of people, eating too much fruit can sometimes set off like their triglycerides, or people that have diabetic issues don't do too well on more than maybe 3 pieces of fruit a day. So vegetables, for the most part, is a little bit of a better way to go. And when you eat these vegetables, you find that you get filled on much less calories. And it doesn't have that addictive quality. You don't eat a pure salad with a clean dressing and kind of go, oh God, I gotta have another helping and another helping. It's like you don't do that. Whereas with a lot of cooked foods, especially foods that are in restaurants, they use a lot of fancy recipes, and a lot of these things are very sodium based. And God knows what else they put in them. It's like you want more. It's like that's one of the things that they talk about with fast food places, is that they say that they add a lot of ingredients into, like, let's say the beef, like of the hamburgers of a lot of these big fast food joints. They add these things that particularly make you want to have more. That after you walk out of there, you're still kind of craving it and you're thinking about it the next day. And it becomes addictive. You see what I mean? And whereas with cooked foods, with raw foods rather, that doesn't happen. You just eat these pure foods, you're satisfied, your calories stay low. It doesn't trigger a kind of like toxic hunger. A lot of cooked foods trigger like a toxic hunger. It's not a real hunger. It's a hunger because you're kind of addicted to these unhealthy things. Whereas with raw food, the more of it that you find yourself eating, the more you get real satisfaction. And then it breaks you out of the roller coaster of being hungry all the time. And it also stabilizes your blood sugar. It gives you more healthy, kind of stable blood sugar. And all this takes you off that roller coaster ride of not being able to lose weight because you constantly are hungry. Okay, so I'm not saying here that we need to become raw foodists. From my research into it, the pure raw foodist, it has like a very high failure rate. It seems to be that it's a better way to go is to just try to get in as much raw food as we can in the course of a day, even if it's just 50% of your meals being raw, that's good. Probably even if it's even 30 to 40. But try to keep upping the percentage more and more, little by little, and balance it out with healthy cooked foods. And you keep doing that, and it just makes the weight loss process more swift, more efficient, and obviously makes you a heck of a lot healthier when you're eating things that are just pure, where all the enzymes are in there, that are very just nutrient rich raw foods that aren't mixed in there with sauces and oils and grease and stuff. Okay, so good luck.